Andy Cohen has been accused of intimidating a former cast member of Real Housewives of New York City. Since quite some time ago, the executive at Bravo has been at the center of complaints and litigation from clients. Fans were even under the impression that this was the driving force behind the postponing of BravoCon 2024. In that case, what exactly is the matter with this lawsuit, and does it have any merit? Continue reading for further information. An ex-Rhobh cast member has filed a lawsuit against Andy Cohen for intimidation. When it comes to Andy Cohen and Bravo, the season of lawsuits has arrived. Peacock TV, Bravo, NBC Universal, Shed Media, Forest Productions, Warner Bros. Entertainment, and Peacock TV are now being sued by Caroline Manzo for an alleged attack that occurred during the RHUGT Morocco competition. In her statement, she asserted that her co-star, Brandi Glanville, had sexually attacked her while the production crew witnessed the incident. This is something that Brandi and the other cast members have argued against. Nevertheless, Brandi has vowed to take legal action because she believes that Bravo is using her as a pawn. Furthermore, she asserted that Andy had sexually harassed her, an accusation that he denied, but for which he did express regret. Now, a case that was initially filed by a former cast member of Real Housewives of New York City is being brought back up again, and this time it is even more complicated. Leah McSweeney, who had been in seasons 12 and 13, had filed a lawsuit against Bravo and Andy in February of 2024 against the two of them. She said that they took advantage of her mental health and previous drinking problems in order to forward their own agenda. In addition to this, she asserted that Andy indulged in drug use, notably cocaine, with Bravolebs in order to ensure that they received a favorable edit. The allegations have been categorically refuted by him, and a third party has exonerated him of any misconduct. The most recent lawsuit that Leah has filed against Andy Cohen is said to have more to say, as reported by Page 6. Immediately following the filing of her initial complaint, a letter was written to Leah, and at some point, it was disclosed to the media. Andy demanded that the statement she made be retracted since it was considered libel. According to Leah's new lawsuit, she believes that this letter was written with the intention of intimidating Ms. McSweeney out of further pursuing the lawsuit. If she did not comply, he would file a lawsuit. Additionally, it is supposed that he wished to prevent other housewives from following in her footsteps by doing the same thing, bringing Leah's reputation suffering. Additionally, in the updated lawsuit that Leah McSweeney has filed, she asserts that Andy Cohen intended for his attorney's comments to be detrimental to her reputation in the entertainment industry, thereby negatively affecting her prospective employment or business opportunities. Leah did make an appearance on the third season of Real Housewives of New York. However, her co-stars did not show any support for her decision to remain sober. On the other hand, she had been clean for almost a decade before she began appearing on Real Housewives of New York City, but she had begun drinking just a few months before the show began filming. It is going to be quite interesting to see how everything turns out, because there are a lot of different aspects involved in this. For over a decade, Bravo's Real Housewives universe has thrived on dramatic confrontations, friendships turned to rivalries, and reunion episodes that often end with tissues and tantrums. But now, the drama has spilled far beyond the cameras. Andy Cohen, Bravo's powerhouse executive producer and the face of the franchise through his late-night show Watch What Happens Live, finds himself at the center of a bombshell lawsuit. A former Real Housewives of New York City alum has reportedly filed legal action against Cohen, accusing him of professional intimidation and emotional manipulation. The suit, which has already sent shockwaves through Bravo fandom, paints a picture of behind-the-scenes dynamics far more cutthroat than even the cameras captured. The shocking allegations. According to court documents, the unnamed former Rhobh star alleges that Cohen used his influence not only to dictate her storyline, but also to threaten her standing in the Bravo world when she refused to play along. The alum claims that conversations off-camera were filled with pressure, veiled threats, and warnings that her reputation would be destroyed if she didn't comply with certain production notes. The lawsuit alleges Cohen weaponized his status, dangling potential spin-offs or reunion invites as carrots while using exclusion and reputation damage as sticks. The environment was not just toxic, the alums filing raids. It was intimidating to the point of emotional distress. Though the alum's identity hasn't been publicly revealed, speculation among fans is running wild. Was it one of the franchise's most outspoken stars, like Bethany Frankel, who has recently waged her own war against reality TV contracts? Or perhaps a quieter former cast member who left suddenly under mysterious circumstances? Bravo's damage control. Bravo has yet to release an official statement, but insiders claim the network is deeply concerned about the allegations. Andy is the face of the network, one insider reportedly told Page Six. If his name is tied to intimidation or coercion, that's not just a legal problem, it's a branding nightmare. The timing is particularly sensitive. Bravo is still reeling from cast lawsuits, including reality stars who have accused the network of exploiting personal traumas for ratings. Add to that the ongoing unionization talk among reality performers, and the lawsuit could become a rallying cry for greater accountability. Behind the scenes, sources suggest Cohen is furious. Known for his playful on-air persona and shady but comedic digs during reunions, Cohen has long walked a fine line between friend and boss to the housewives. But the idea that he could be legally branded as an intimidator could tarnish his legacy. Fans react with fury and theories. The fanbase, as always, has turned the situation into its own storm. Social media lit up immediately after news of the lawsuit broke. On X, formerly Twitter, one fan wrote, "We've seen Andy push buttons during reunions, but if this is true, he was pulling strings we never even knew about." Others rushed to Cohen's defense, insisting that housewives know exactly what they're signing up for when they enter Bravo's universe. But perhaps the loudest chatter has been around who filed the lawsuit. Bethany Frankel's name trends daily as fans wonder whether this is part of her ongoing crusade to create a reality TV reckoning. Some point to Jill Zarin, who has long been vocal about being iced out of RHONI after her feud with Bethany. A smaller but vocal group speculates it could be Kelly Benjamin, who endured one of the most infamous meltdowns in Bravo history during the Scary Island season. The Bravo Playbook. If Bravo history has taught viewers anything, it's that scandal can often turn into opportunity. Some believe the network will spin this lawsuit into a dramatic storyline for future seasons, with housewives openly discussing the controversy during confessionals. Others think Bravo will double down on Cohen's charm offensive. He's already announced a new book tour and has a slate of guest-heavy WDHL episodes lined up, perhaps to keep fans distracted with nostalgia and star power. Still, skeptics believe that sweeping the lawsuit under the rug won't work this time. This isn't a catfight over who said what at a Hamptons brunch, one media critic noted. This is a legal accusation of workplace intimidation, which plays into much larger conversations about power dynamics in entertainment. Cohen's silence speaks volumes. For now, Andy Cohen has remained publicly silent. Normally quick to clap back at rumors or shade cast members with a witty remark, his absence on social media since the lawsuit's announcement has only fueled curiosity. He knows that anything he says could be used against him in court, a Bravo insider explained. This is one of the first times he hasn't been able to control the narrative. In the meantime, Cohen's allies, like close friend Anderson Cooper and several loyal housewives, have started posting subtle words of encouragement. Lisa Rinna commented a heart emoji on his last Instagram post, while Margaret Josephs cryptically wrote, "Some people live for the drama, others create it. The fallout for Housewives. The ripple effect of the lawsuit may extend far beyond Cohen. If the allegations gain traction in court, Bravo could face a reckoning about how much manipulation is embedded in its reality programming. Cast members from other franchises, Rhobh, Rhonj, Rhoc, might feel emboldened to share their own experiences. One Rhonj alum even hinted on Instagram Live that they had stories about Andy that would blow people's minds. Though she didn't elaborate, fans immediately connected her words to the current lawsuit. What's next? As the case develops, Bravo fans are left wondering, is this the beginning of the end for Andy Cohen's reign as the Bravo King, or just another chapter in his complicated love-hate relationship with Housewives stars? Industry experts suggest Cohen will fight tooth and nail to protect both his reputation and his empire. But whether the lawsuit is settled quietly or explodes into a televised trial, one thing is certain: the lines between reality TV and real life have never been blurrier. And in true Housewives fashion, everyone will be watching with a glass of wine in hand, waiting to see who flips the next table, this time in court.